on earth as it is in heaven. Have you ever stopped to wonder what that means, on earth as it is in heaven? Whenever we pray the Lord's Prayer, we say, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven." What are we asking God to do? Or what are we agreeing to do? Are we asking Him to transform the earth? Are we agreeing to transform the earth? There's an old Christian legend about a monk who was deep in his prayers. Then an angel of the Lord appeared to him and offered to reveal to him any of the divine mysteries. So the monk said, "Show me heaven and hell." Suddenly the monk and the angel were in a large banquet hall. There was a large table filled with every good food you could imagine. There was succulent turkey, fresh from the oven, hot bread and butter, any side you could want, and delicious cakes for dessert. At first glance, it was a beautiful scene. But when the monk looked more closely, he saw that all the guests looked pale and sickly. He could see their cheekbones and the hollows of their eyes. They were wasting away. Then the monk noticed that they were chained to their chairs, and that each had a large metal rod shackled to their arms. Unable to leave their chairs or bend their elbows, the monk watched in horror as the guests at the banquet couldn't feed themselves any of this delicious food. They'd pick it up and drop it over and over and cry out in hunger, powerless to get any of the food to their mouths. The angel said grimly, "This is hell." "I cannot bear to watch their suffering any longer," said the monk. "Please show me heaven." And just as suddenly, the monk and the angel were in a different banquet hall. There was a large table filled with every good food you could imagine. And the guests here, too, were chained to their chairs, and they each had large metal rods shackled to their arms. At first glance, it was the very same scene as before. But the monk again looked more closely. See, these guests were not crying out in anguish. To the contrary, they were singing and laughing. They were not pale and sickly like the guests in the other room. These people were happy, healthy, and content. As the monk watched, he suddenly realized the difference between the two rooms. In this room, each guest was picking up food and feeding it to their neighbor. Perhaps when we pray on earth as it is in heaven, we are asking God to transform us. We are saying, "Let your kingdom come in me. Change me into the sort of person who carries the kingdom with me wherever I go. The sort of person who can make a heaven out of any hell."